So, and again, so what you want to do is put an item into the world. All the resources are found in this file, so you pull this on here, and then what you need for items is templates, first of all. So you go here for template, da, 7, yeah. So you type in the 7, hit enter, and it will extract it. I'd already did that. The same with world. You want world, so you hit 5 and extract this. And then the last but not least, you want sector, which is 13, and extract it. Yeah. And what it does is it creates these subfolders: template, world, and sector. Yeah. Now there's a sector that has something in here, which is the standard merchant, blah blah. Yeah. So this is a sector file that has not many items in them, but it has a medkit at a particular location, and it's always easier to um, just add a copy an existing file. The only thing that we change here is make this to true, so it's automatically enabled. Yeah. We generate our own GUID here, right? So that it is a unique, my own unique sector. Okay. And I call this sector home my X. Yep. So that I know where it is. So, and then our file, save this as in a folder that I already created called item mod. Is completely empty at the moment. We create a subfolder sector and call it home my X. Yep. Dot Elex. This is Elex sec doc. Okay. And yeah, just don't worry about it. So sector. Okay. Now what we just did was in this folder we created this folder and created this document. Okay. So this is this file basically. Now you don't want this berserker bridge. Yeah. You don't want all this until we get to our med pack that I was looking for in 2000 somewhere. There's a fork, a mug. You see, these are all things in the world that you don't really want. That is old med kit. This is the only thing I really was looking for. Well, now we can remove everything else that is here. So, up to this. Now this is a legit file that we have just created, is a legit sector file. Yeah, did we give it a unique ID here? Alright. Now for this medkit we need another unique ID. So it's not duplicated, it is just a new entity in the game basically. So we just add this. This is what the object is in the game. Okay. Now we keep the location and everything, and you keep the medkit. The next thing you want to do is go back to Elex, to your packed folder. We did extract the sector files already, right? So we go to an existing sector. And for example, here is Inidan. They all have these items things. So from here, you can, for example, look for one-handed X. Yeah. So now you got a one-handed X berserker break. So we copy this, right? Just the text, and replace this here. So now this is the name tag that it has when you go with mouse over it, right? This is a creator. So this is what is creator when it is in the inventory, right? But we come to this in a minute. What's more important is everything else just has to do with how the object looks in the world before you pick it up. This is the location, this is a mesh file that's displayed, the color change, and then there's lots of stats that are overwritten basically. So the next thing we want to do is we want to copy this melee class thing after the mesh section. So for everything that has to do with this X. So copy this. Well, so again, we have this mesh section here, and then it comes with the item class. So we just replace all of that stuff. So I think we have to do one more. My fault. So now this has all the stats that are the original stats from that item. Okay. Now we can make changes here, like call this 3 million damage. Yeah. Just to see, is it really our weapon? No? I don't actually know if that breaks things, but anyway, we got the location from the med kit, we got the name from the X, yeah, we created our own GUID for the game object, and we changed the creator GUID to that X item, which is from the template folder. Yeah. Then the mesh file is still a medkit, so we may actually want to change that as well to have it look properly. Use that one. Yeah. This is the item that how it looks like in the world. You can change the colors here a little bit. Yeah. And whatnot. So save. Okay. And I think we are done. So this should be alright. So we got our own sector. Now the next thing we need is to make sure that this sector is actually loaded. So for that we need the world file, which you also extract and convert to doc, and then you copy it into your mod, create a new folder called world, yeah. We'll place it here, then you edit it, and at the very bottom, comma, capitals, and then just copy this. So, but just be aware that this will disable all the other mods that you have loaded at the moment if you don't merge their sectors into your mod, basically. So this will enable our sector, our X, to load at this position with these mesh files and that creator stuff. So, and the stats that we have overwritten from the template, right? Because the template has probably less damage. So this could be any weapon, any stats. We could make this, I don't know, have certain effects or whatever. But I think at the moment it's just a basic X. So anyway, we have this, what is created in the inventory, there's a thing, so we have all done. We have edited our world file. Now it's time to bring this into the game, and for that we need to convert the world, right? We don't need the dock anymore. Then we need to convert our sector. We don't need the dock anymore. Then what I usually do is I go here, create an item mod folder, and then put these underneath, and then I drag this onto that, and then say generation 9, so I make sure it's overwriting everything else that I might have loaded, any mods. And then I can go here, Elex, packed. Oh, it's already tested. So yeah, so this is then our mod is now loaded, and when we go in game we should see that 100 sword or X. I have no idea what we did. So none. Where's my 3 though? So here's my standard merchants already loaded, but it doesn't matter. We created our own sector. It's always there. with the stats that we already have used, so it should be okay. So it's on here. And bile. That was the thing that we created. Oh. Yeah. And then we pick it up and we get a bile. So this is what we just put into the world. Everything else is untouched. We just added an item to the world, wherever it is. That one. But where's the damage? Now it does, you see it does not actually change the stats. I actually have to. Why is it not changing the stat? But yeah, now we can, now we have it in the world, we can now experiment. Oops. Like, so now we can experiment. Go back here. Def item 1. Honestly, I'm not sure how much influence the sector have. Maybe it just really creates the item from the template and everything else is ignored. Maybe. Could be. That's the case. Then you can put in here whatever you want, really, as long as it's some stats. I wonder. So it needs to have interaction, like this stuff, you know. And you may want to have a physics to it that if I run into it, then I'll bounce back. You know? We don't want to craft it. It doesn't need any effect. You know. So. Okay, so it's C-strap. Now let's do the test of whatever. Yeah, we just play around now. We go here into the templates folder. Well, and then what everyone wants is the Alp commander is better. Do we have any 100? Well, we can use any item really. So we go to weapon, the item and not the item 100. I don't know. Let's create a single reflect radiator bleed. Yeah, let's use this. So all we do is we copy this, yeah, and paste that into the creator. So now that it's still all, it looks all the same item, but it will create a different item in the inventory. So this is just to show how it works in a way. So we got our sector here. We need to convert, change this again. You can remove the dock. You can delete this. World is already done. 9. So copy this. So all the stats are actually ignored apparently. I'll paste this in here. Start the game. You could even use armor types or anything that are created in the inventory. So whenever you pick it up, you get the Alp Commander armor or something if you just use that GUID from the template. And yeah, it's, if you use, you could like place a lot of generic bags, for example. If you find a bag somewhere in a sector, you can copy that skin, and then it select, you know, then it doesn't look like a bile or like an X in the world. It looks like a little bag. And when you pick it up, you get Blutschrottbile 2, which looks like that. Well, that was just created. which is a original item, but picked up from somewhere that we put in the world. Oh, okay. I hope this is enough